Hi everyone, I'm here to talk to you today about the transits for July 2025. We will break down what that means for each zodiac sign. Stick around. We have a few things going on. Okay, so we've got the full moon coming up on the 10th. That's going to be in Capricorn. We also have a new moon a couple weeks later in Leo. That's going to be on the 24th. Okay, and then we've got two retrogrades starting this month. We've got Saturn retrograding on the 13th, and we have Mercury retrograding on the 18th. Let's talk about how those energies kind of mesh together. We've got some forward movement, and we have a lot of reflection time. So let's dig into each sign and see what that means for you. All right, so for our Aries, we've got the full moon that's going to bring about some peak moment in your career. Okay, what are you doing right now that is affecting your public image? What does the world see? Are you creating a project in your career? Are you changing careers? Are you just thinking about doing these things, or what's going on in that realm of life for you? Well, that will definitely come to fruition and reveal something to you on the 10th for the full moon in Capricorn. You've got the Capricorn energy as well, so having the full moon happen in your 10th house is pretty exponential. You're definitely going to get a jolt of inspiration for your career moving forward. A little after that, Saturn's going to move retrograde. That is going to be moving backwards in your 12th house. So that's going to be a good time for a pause, a deep reflection, some spiritual healing, maybe adding meditations and breath work into your daily routine. There could be a message that's trying to be into your conscious awareness, right? So a subliminal message that's trying to come forward for you. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going to ask you to revisit your creative projects, your creative self-expression, your fun. How um, how do your children play a part in that fun? Okay, how much fun have you been creating for your family? Are you thinking about any vacations? What's going on with that? Definitely give yourself a moment to reflect. Don't necessarily start any projects. Mercury retrograde is not when you want to do that. So just go ahead and kind of use this time to be thinking and talking about how you structure your fun. And then on the 24th, when the new moon happens, it's going to also be in that fifth house for you. So that's a good time to use what you've reflected on and plant the seed for the future. So, what kind of creative project are you going to work on? Is your romantic life going to need some intentions to move forward? Don't expect anything to move forward right away, but a new moon is great for planting seeds. And you have to remember that the Mercury retrograde and the Saturn retrogrades are still in effect during this new moon. So everything is asking for patience, but it's also asking for planning. So I think that's going to be a really great time for you to do that. Taurus, the full moon's going to be in your ninth house. Okay, the big picture, what truths are going to be revealed here? There's going to be an expansion. Maybe there's higher education you've been looking into. Something like that will definitely be coming to a head this month on the 10th. As far as the Saturn retrograde, you're definitely going to notice some sort of revision may be needed in either your group of friends or in a humanitarian effort, whatever kind of project you have going on in that regard. Definitely slow down, take a look at it, revise it. What group dynamics do you have going on? Are they working for you? Do you need to restructure those things? And when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going to be moving backwards into your fourth house. That's the house of your home, your family, your roots. What's going on with your family values? How are you communicating at home? What is being communicated at home? There's a dramatic flare happening because that's going to be in the sign of Leo. And then that brings you to the new moon. That's also going to be going into your fourth house, right? In Leo. So again, these are things to reflect on and pause and kind of take a time out and think, okay, what kind of structure do we have for communication? How do I think about my home? How do I think about my family? What kind of intentions can I set for the month ahead with this new moon? And again, patience is very, very important. When we have retrogrades, they're asking for us to pause and reflect. And also, don't expect communication to be super great at this time because Mercury controls thinking and talking. And when it's retrograde, it's not giving us a whole lot of energy in that category. So it's up to us to slow down and clarify and take things with a grain of salt. Gemini, the full moon is going to be in your eighth house. Okay, that's going to be something very transformative. What truth may be exposed? The eighth house is definitely associated with secrets. Okay, so that's intimacy as well. What kind of truths about your intimacy or about what deep within you needs to be transformed? Those themes are definitely going to be coming to light. Okay, so that's the 10th. Um, right after that, about a week later, Saturn retrograde is going to be going back through your 10th house. Okay, so what kind of responsibilities are you missing? What kind of restructuring needs to be happening in your 10th house of career, your public image? What kind of themes can you think about in that area right now? And take your time, allow yourself to reflect on these things, allow the energy to kind of carry you backwards. And it's okay to change the plans. It's okay to take a look at what you're doing and think, okay, well, I can see what's not working and make those adjustments. That's exactly what that energy is helping you do. Mercury's going to retrograde back through your third house. Okay. Pause and reflect before you communicate with either siblings or in general, really, because the third house is all about communication. So, unfortunately, Gemini, Mercury rules Gemini as well, and we're retrograding back in the third house. It's a little bit of a double, triple whammy. Take your time. Don't worry if you stumble across your words. It's not going to be perfect. There's definitely a lot of need to slow down, revise what you're saying, collect your thoughts. Maybe it's a really good time to journal, especially because then when the new moon comes around in the same house, you can be using those journaled thoughts to help kind of collect your thoughts. You're not going to be starting any projects right now, but you are able to plan them, right? You're definitely good to kind of move forward in those plans with a start date after Mercury goes direct. If there is any kind of a misunderstanding with your siblings, that new moon is a good time to revisit those things and kind of rehash that. We don't want a whole lot of drama that's indicated with Leo. Um, if we are using kind of the confusion of the retrograde and allowing that energy to be more of a negative energy, you can certainly pause, you can meditate, you can reflect, and every single energy that is created for us can be used for good. Think about it through love instead of fear, and it's all going to work out. Cancer. The full moon is going to be in your house of relationships, okay? Your seventh house. That is any kind of relationship. It's your spouse, your significant other, your business partner. It's also a reflection of you. Are you giving as much as you're receiving? What's the balance in that? You'll definitely see those themes come to light on the 10th. As far as the Saturn retrograde, that is going to be moving back into your ninth house. Okay. Revisit your spiritual goals, plan your structure, and reflect over what is going on with your higher mind. What big picture plans do you have? Are you thinking about a long distance travel? Any of those themes will definitely be brought to your attention right now, and it's best to just kind of reflect on them and allow the time to do so without rushing to any plans or head starts. The Mercury retrograde is going to ask you to reflect your resources. What kind of budgeting have you been doing? Do you hold enough self-worth? Do you know that you are good enough to receive more money? What kind of things can you be thinking about over this time? And again, it's a Mercury retrograde, so you're not going to start projects, but it's a great time to look backward and think, okay, well, these were the ideas that I had. Maybe I can start writing some stuff down and making plans for the future, because it's really giving you that pause time to reflect. Don't make any final decisions right now, because there's going to be a little bit of confusion with the retrograde. So allow that to kind of just happen how it does. Hold on to your self worth. Give yourself the space and the time to feel good enough to move forward with your plans after the retrograde is over. Okay. And then the new moon in the same house is going to help set those intentions, the your personal worth, your values, what budget needs to be looked at here. Maybe you need to just start a budget. It doesn't matter what it is related to your investments, your money, your material possessions, your self-worth. All of those things are going to be brought to your attention, but there's no rush in any decisions here. It's definitely just something, journal about it, write things down, revisit it later. Leo, the full moon is going to be happening in your sixth house. Okay, that's going to be the house of your daily routines, your work, your health. Is there anything that you need to be thinking about here? What kind of hardened habits do you need to release? Or maybe there's something that you've been doing really well and you need to just take a moment to congratulate yourself. Okay, it's high energy during a full moon, and that's going to mean anything related to your work, your daily routine, your habits, and your health. And once Saturn goes retrograde, it's going to be going through your eighth house. Okay. That is a deep inner transformation. You're going to want to be seeking answers. You might end up getting answers in solitude. Definitely allow that time to kind of restructure whatever is going on. Are there any secrets that may be ready to be revealed? What kind of truth will be coming out? Don't push these things, but just allow them to happen naturally. Mercury is going to go retrograde in your first house. Okay, that is the house of you. So that's going to be your identity, your appearance. It may ask you to, tighten it up in those categories, but it may ask if you are being who you really are. What is your identity? Are you identifying as who you truly are? Go ahead and pause, reflect on that. Don't worry if there's some miscommunication in this time in areas of communication in general, but also how you communicate who you are, how the world sees you. All of those things can definitely come into play. Just pause, allow it to happen, take notes, and just allow yourself to kind of be during this time. There's not a lot of energy in the realm of thinking and talking, not during a Mercury retrograde. It's only 3 weeks, and then it will go direct and it will be supporting you in that area. And then when the new moon comes around, it's also going to be in your first house. Now it's time for your personal reset, okay? How is your identity going to shine? How is who you are going to become so comfortable for you to share with other people that it's just second nature. It's nothing you even need to think about anymore. Again, pause and reflect on these things. All right, Virgos, it's time to have some fun. Okay, the full moon is going to be in your fifth house. Have a childlike wonder with everything you do. Definitely be inspired to have creative self-expression. Go play, take some time and just go celebrate yourself. The Saturn retrograde is going to be going through your seventh house. Okay, it's going to ask you to reflect on your partnerships, your relationships, what structures need to be refined, what do you need to take away. And again, this takes time. It's something that you just want to pause and reflect on. You don't need to go all in when you're making these changes. All you want to do is reflect right now. The Mercury retrograde is going to ask you to reflect as well. Okay. And this one's going to be a lot deeper for you. It's going through your 12th house. It's the house of your subconscious. Okay. Deep meditation could be required, stillness, breath work, candle gazing. Give yourself the time to just be in your private world. And it's possible that you start finding answers, especially around the new moon. It's going to be in that same house, the 12th house of your subconscious mind, your the depth of your feelings, your awareness. There could be something coming to light, and there could be something that urges you to plant a seed of intention for the month ahead. Libra, the full moon is going to be in your fourth house. That is your home, your family, your roots. What kind of energy is going on in the home right now? Is there a shift in the leadership? Is there any kind of back and forth battle in the home? That's all going to come to light, okay? And then the Saturn retrograde is going to be in your sixth house. It's going to ask you to kind of revise your daily routine. That could start at home. All of these themes could go together. So, what is your work life? What is your health? What is your daily routine? Are there any habits you need to work through? What kind of restructuring is needed? When Mercury goes retrograde, that's going to be in your 11th house. Okay. The group activities, past connections, things like that could show up for you. You definitely are going to want to, reconnect, rethink how you can help in a humanitarian role. Is there anything on your mind right now that you've been thinking about getting started? Well, I would hold off on starting it, but you can use this retrograde energy to plan for it. Write it down. And then when Mercury goes direct, of course, revisit those plans and scratch what you don't like and add to what you do, because Mercury can be confusing in retrograde. And that supporting energy with the new moon in the same house, the 11th house, is going to be a really great time to kind of start fresh. Take a good look at what that community project is, or what your goals for that big, that humanitarian outlook that you have. You can really kind of take a look at how you can collaborate and launch whatever it is that you're dreaming about, and share that with your friends, of course. Absolutely. Whatever is best for the community is best for you. Keep everyone included. And again, the communication may not be great right now. So give it some time, put a pin in it, and just allow it all to happen. Scorpio, the full moon is going to be in your third house. That's going to be communication, short trips, your siblings. Um, Communication is going to be kind of a theme of the month, right? Definitely in the full moon, take advantage of having that clear communication. Not too long later, Mercury will be going retrograde, and it will already be in the shadow at that point, which means that it's going to be a little bit fuzzy anyway. But with the added energy from the moon, you may be able to get some good communication across and do it while you can. The Saturn retrograde is going to be going backwards through your fifth house. Okay, that's your house of fun. How do you make sure that you have fun? What kind of structures do you have in place for your children? Are you allowing yourself to be like a child? Do you give yourself enough breaks? What are you allowing yourself to express yourself as? Are you having fun with your intimate relationships? All of these themes will be coming up for you, and you're going to be asked to kind of take a look. Are you responding to your ability in this area? Okay. Yes, Saturn is all about responsibilities, but you can look at that from a better point of view. You don't have to look at it as fear or control. You can kind of just take this time and allow that restructuring process to happen naturally. And then with Mercury retrograde, that's going to go ahead and go right through your 10th house. All right. How do you need to restructure your career plans? Do you need to structure your career plans? Maybe right now is not a great time to make any big changes. You definitely want to use that energy to revisit what you've got going on in that. You don't want to start anything new right now. Mercury retrogrades are not a good time for that, as we know, but it's a really great time for wrapping up any projects that you had already started, or kind of just writing down what your plans are for when Mercury goes direct. And the new moon is going to go right through that 10th house as well. What kind of intentions are you going to set for your career, for your public image? These are the things that are going to come up for you. Sagittarius, the full moon is going to be happening in your second house of money. Okay, it's money, it's your values, it's beauty, it is whatever your material possessions are. It might be a good time to kind of take a look at that. There, you could be getting money on the 10th. Okay, there could be something, a project that you've been working on, and it finally makes money on that day. Something around those energies will definitely be coming to light for you. And what kind of truths are going to be exposed for you during this time? Sagittarius, you're always looking for the truth in something, and you find it. So, comment, let me know what comes up for you. The Saturn retrograde is going to move back through your fourth house of your home, your roots, your family. What kind of reconnections do you need to make there? Is there any kind of thing that you've been wanting to do at the house? Do you want to redecorate? Is there anything that you want to just kind of slow down and restructure in the home? I know a lot of people who would be, have a long list of things that they want to redo at home or renovate. So this is a really good time to be taking a look at that and getting a plan together. And then when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going to be in your ninth house. Are you thinking about traveling? Okay, what are your big picture plans? Do you have higher education in mind? Are you maybe kind of ready for a break? Are you studying something that you just need to take a break on and reset? Allow yourself to do that. It's a perfect time for that. When Mercury goes retrograde, your thinking and your communication are definitely less than ideal at that time, and you kind of need to just go with the energy on it. Allow that to be a guide for you, and make some notes, jot some stuff down, and then look forward to the future. And then the new moon will bring you the ability to kind of plant the seed of intention with the framework. What are your big dreams? What kind of higher education are you going for? Maybe there is some travel in your mind. These kinds of things can start forming as a plan now. But again, you're going to want to take your time and revisit these plans once you've made them. Capricorn. The full moon is in Capricorn, and it's in your first house. Okay, so this is all about you, your identity. How do you expose the truth of who you are? Is there anything that you need to allow yourself to be free to do and say? Um, Maybe it's time to shed some self limitations. And then the Saturn retrograde is going to be moving through your third house of communication. We're thinking, we're talking, and then with the Mercury retrograde, that's all kind of tying in here for you. So we've got that communication house. We've got Saturn in retrograde. We've got the structures with that. Are you making sure that you are responsible for your thoughts? Are you keeping them positive? Because your mental health is very, very important, and it is up to you. You are the ones who can change your reality based on your thinking. Keep your thoughts positive. It's super important right now. And then the Mercury retrograde is going to be going through your eighth house. There is some truth and some transformation that is going to be happening here. And then when it goes direct, it's moving back forward through that house again. So it's really going to spend some time bringing some truth to light. Expect some transformative energy. If there's any secrets that have been just weighing on you, they could be exposed at this time. Again, the communication could be a little bit less than ideal at this time with the retrograde. You're not going to want to start any projects or anything like that, as we know, but you will definitely benefit from reflecting, okay? Write some things down. Maybe there is some telepathy that is going to be able to happen, especially with that new moon rolling around, okay? You're in the 8th house here, so it's the psychic plane. There is depth in the 8th house. Expect anything. It could absolutely take you further than you could expect. So just be open to it, take your time, reflect, have fun with it. Aquarius, the full moon is going to be in your 12th house. That is the house of your subconscious. Deep emotional patterns. What habits do you have that need to be released, changed? What's going to come up for you? It's really difficult to know what's going to come up for you when we're talking about the 12th house, unless you give yourself that reflection time, that rest, okay? Give yourself a lot of space and time right now to really reflect, connect with nature. What kind of stillness activities can you start putting into your routine, because there's likely a message that's trying to emerge for you. Saturn's going to go retrograde in your 2nd house. Let's go ahead and revisit the financial system that you have going for you and your self-worth. And let's tie that together, okay? Let's allow that to be restructured and bring those energies together. Know that you have enough worth to make the money, rebudget, relook, see what you have. You probably have more than you think. Allow yourself to kind of plan accordingly with that financial energy. And then when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going to go retrograde in the 7th house. All right, so maybe reconnect with another person. There could be a relationship that is maybe needing to be addressed right now. What kind of communication has been going on with a one-on-one relationship that needs a little bit of patience, okay? Don't expect perfection here. In fact, if you're going to expect anything, expect the confusion to kind of come in. Allow yourself to reflect and be patient. And then the new moon is going to be in your 7th house as well, all right? Set the goals. Maybe set the goals together with your partner, business partner, your relationship, any kind of partnership. What kind of energy is there, give and take going on? What goals do you have for one another? How are you reflecting yourself to your other? Pisces, the full moon is going to be in your 11th house. A friendship or group project could reach a peak. Maybe it'll end. Ask yourself, are your social ties aligned with your vision? Okay, what kind of humanitarian role are you taking on? And then when Saturn goes retrograde, we're going to be in the 1st house, all right, of you. What kind of personal boundaries or responsibilities do you need to kind of revisit? And is there some self discipline that you maybe need to kind of implement in your life? Again, with a retrograde, we're kind of slowing down, okay? So it's all right to kind of make note of these things and look at it in the future. And it's not just a Saturn retrograde. We also have the Mercury retrograde very soon after, and that's going to slow us down in our thinking and our communicating. All right, so you may not be getting answers like you want as fast as you want them, and that's okay. You just kind of have to slow down and, see what comes up. Don't rush anything right now. And that Mercury retrograde is going to be in your 6th house. Take a look at your health, okay? Your daily habits. Do you have enough balance in your work and your home life? What themes are coming up for you, Pisces? You definitely really enjoy some alone time and some seclusion. Are you getting enough of that? What's going on with really your health? You definitely kind of need to slow down and take a look at that. You could make some plans here, but don't maybe try to start a new diet or a new exercise regimen, because it's probably going to need to be redone. But you can make plans for that, okay? And then you'll be revisited on the new moon on the 24th. And that's a good time to set your goals in your health and your daily life. And all of those things can be kind of brought up and planned for. Take your time with all of this. The retrogrades ask for you to pause and reflect. All right, so keep in mind the overall energies here. We do have the Uranus conjunct Venus in Gemini that's happening this month. I did another video on that, and I will put the link for it below. We're talking a lot about the retrogrades, asking for our patience and review and structure. Sometimes understanding that going with the flow doesn't always mean ease. It means maybe a shift in the energy, flow with it. And that means if it's asking for you to pause or if it's causing a little bit of a tension, you can implement that self-care in that time. Going with the flow sounds easy. And so let's just ride with the energy. And that's the theme of July. Don't start any projects. It's going to be a Mercury retrograde. It's a 3-week period. You can definitely plan for what's coming ahead, but be flexible with yourself and with your structures. All of these energies are kind of doing a stop and a go at the same time. We've got some forward movement with Uranus and Venus, and we've got, Mars just entered Virgo. And so that's asking for you to kind of get your game plan with your health and your work life in order. But then we've got these retrogrades that are asking to take your time and reflect on those things. So no rush with any of this stuff. You definitely have the ability to kind of plan things through. You can knock things off those plans if they didn't make any sense when Mercury goes direct. And in the meantime, just do yourself the biggest favor of implementing a lot of self-love, forgiveness. There's so much support that you can give yourself, and there's a lot of support out there for you. Reach out. You can contact me at solarup.com. There are so many other places and people that are absolutely reaching out their hand. If you're in any kind of challenging time during this month or any time, reach out. Okay? Look within as well. Be still. Allow yourself to take that time, get the deep breathing in. There's so much for you, and it's all happening. And these retrogrades are asking for us to take the time, think it through, restructure, because once these energies are moving forward again, we're really moving forward. Okay, 2025 is all about moving forward. It's all about shifting into something new. Where are you going to allow that to take you? All right, you guys, one more thing. We've got the sign of the day. Okay, the sign of the day is star. Star. I'm going to take our fingers, move them together, and shoot them in the air. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments how any of this resonates for you. And again, I'll see you soon.